Well, Jason, there's two big reasons. The next two shows, this show and next Sunday, are huge. Do you want to take a big guess why they're so big?
I can't even begin to think why.
So, keep in mind, last week was on Monday, last Monday was our 1 year anniversary of doing
yes.
the show. Of course, that was supposed to be last week's show, but you were off in Florida, having fun at Hooters, which I'm insanely jealous about. And then next week's show is show number 50 that we have done.
Yeah, crazy to think.
I don't know how we lasted this long, but anyway, welcome everyone. In case I forgot to show you guys, this is my jersey that I'm wearing today, Braden Point. Sorry, I'm trying to show you without ripping the earbuds out. But yeah, Braden Point, the new jersey I got from China, of course. Anyway, happy 1 year, I guess. I'm sorry I didn't get a gift for the occasion.
That's alright.
Alright, I guess we're gift enough for all of you. Unless you hate us that much, then I'm sorry we lasted a year. What else can I say? Anyway, this week we got our Tinkle rundown. We're going to talk a little bit of tennis in the Olympics. Yes, a strange week when we have to talk tennis. But I figured this was a good top story. And then, of course, we got a Tinkle on this coming up. So before we do that, I'll actually get started with the Tinkle takeaway or Tinkle rundown for this week because I let you start yesterday. All right, so Baylor upset by Texas Tech at what started out as a strong season by Baylor, and I'm telling you, this is why conference play so big in NCAA basketball. And then, of course, UCLA was projected to be the new number one, the unanimous number one, and then they got upset by Oregon. So chances are, if you're doing your math correctly, Gonzaga might just be the new number one in college basketball. Again, I can't stop crapping on Gonzaga. They keep playing these weak-ass teams in their conference. But
And then somehow always end up being in the main picture like they were last season.
This is why I love college basketball's rankings for college football. Because if that were the case, Cincinnati would be the undisputed number one at the beginning of the college football playoffs, as they rightfully should have been, being the only undefeated team. But
I just think that the whole ranking system is just a big joke in the first place anyway.
it kind of is. I mean, Baylor deserved to be number one, though. That I will give them, because Baylor was they were blowing out teams at the beginning of the year. They were blowing out some really good teams at the beginning of the year too. I honestly think this is a team that can still go back to back, but of course time will tell as they plow their way through the Big 12 and into their conference tournament and March, of course. The other big news out of college this week, and my second takeaway, Jimmy Beiheim is looking for technically a sixth year, but his fifth year. Of course, if you remember, Jimmy Beiheim transferred over from the Ivy League school Cornell, which did not hold sports last year due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. I'm all for Jimmy Beiheim playing another year because he's honestly the best player on the team right now. And it's funny because all the media attention's on his brother possibly being an NBA draft pick right now.
Yeah, Buddy Beiheim.
it's a shame because you want to know what? The ACC might just turn in the favor of Syracuse going forward if with Coach K retiring, Roy Williams gone. That now leaves Jim Beiheim as one of the best coaches in that conference. Granted, I still think Virginia and Florida State are going to run it. But, could be a big power shift in the ACC at the end of the season.
Most likely.
Here's a feel-good story. So, my third point, I just want to start off by saying, when this guy crashed, I was in the stands for my first ever IndyCar Series race, the 2018 ABC Supply 500 at Pocono. I just remember looking up, and I just see this giant ball of flame in the sky, in the catch fence in turn number 2. And that guy just happened to be Robert Wickens. Fast forward 3 years, I go to Mid-Ohio. Part of the reason why, for the 4th of July, I was out of town. Actually, the main reason I was out of town the 4th of July, I'm walking through the infield, and come to find out, I just found Robert Wickens in the infield, and he was signing autographs, and I took a nice picture with him, talked to him. Honestly, a whole new respect for Robert Wickens. He is paralyzed from the waist down after that crash at Pocono. And he is now going to be returning to a real race car for the first time in 4 years. Still paralyzed from the waist down, mind you. And he will be racing in the Michelin Pilot Challenge starting at the 24 Hours of Daytona. Huge, huge, huge for motorsports and huge for Robert Wickens, because you don't see this. Paralyzed people coming back to drive race cars.
Yeah, I just want to know how that's going to actually work. I mean, I'm not trying to, crap on the situation at all.
No, you're not at all.
I just, I'm very intrigued to know, how that is possible, I guess.
So I can probably send you a link. He did do some iRacing, and he had to use hand throttle. So, pretty much, if you don't know the story, his team owner, or the team owner when he drove an IndyCar, Sam Schmidt, he's paralyzed from the neck down.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, he drives a car with a straw. He has a straw that he blows into to control the throttle and the brakes and whatnot. So it's all controlled by his head movements. For Robert Wickens, because he's not paralyzed from the neck down, he has hand throttle, hand brake. So basically he's doing everything with his hands in terms of driving the race car. To my knowledge, that's how it's going.
Crazy.
He's crazy for wanting to get back behind the wheel, but I gotta... actually, I can't even stand up because I'll be cut off from the head. You'll just be seeing the waist down. So, excellent news that he will be back. And I just thought I would leave that as my final point, as the feel-good story of the week, kind of. I'm proud to say that I'm a fan of Robert Wickens, honestly. I know that's an out of turn 4 story, but I figured that was huge to have to put out on this show as well. By the way, out of turn 4, next month return.
Yep, I
you cut out a lot.
February 1st. February 1st.
Yep, February 1st, starting 5 p.m. But anyway, you're on, Jason.
All right, well, I guess we go from a very interesting a really great feel-good story to a feel-good story in a sense of basketball. This man has suffered a torn ACL, a torn Achilles, hasn't played in over 900 days, which is damn near. I mean, not very close to the 3 years, not anywhere close. Oh, well over 2 years and a half. Let's just say that. Where this man hasn't played any sort of basketball the whole entire time he was rehabbing. Both of those injuries, you think there's no way he can come back to form right like that. Well, apparently Klay Thompson's inhuman because after over 2 years of being away from the sport, he put up 17 points in 20 minutes. Insane! It's like that man didn't even miss a beat at all. Yeah. I would think for the moment, I was like, Klay's gonna come back and totally destroy the momentum that the Warriors have right now. I mean, game 1 didn't look like such. Game two against Milwaukee, they absolutely got blown out.
I will say it's great to see Klay Thompson back. I just hope that he continues to pick up where he left off 3 years ago, because I think he could put Golden State back on the map. Something I don't want to see, but it would be.
Yeah, if you think about it, in the sense they kind of have a big 3, not really like the biggest big 3, but you have Steph, you have Klay, and Andrew Wiggins is actually an all-star starter, as weird as that is. Him and Steph are actually all-star starters. Yeah. So Andrew Wiggins, who is with the Golden State Warriors, has really resurrected his career to the point where he's actually going to be an all-star starter as a forward. So if you look at that team, kind of have that big 3 going for them right now. So it's nice to see. But I'll go to my last takeaway. I don't have 3. I kind of think of
slow news
one
week.
Yeah. Well, Georgia was already 2.5 point favorites. Well, let me tell you something. They didn't win by only 2.5. They won by a hell of a lot more. They beat Alabama, the big dog when it comes to college football. Georgia Bulldogs beat the Alabama Crimson Tide 33-18 in the national championship game. And they were only just a 2.5 point favorite. That's insane for me to think of.
Yeah, so that was going to be one of our top stories, but I'm not going to lie, though. I am really shocked. If you saw the show, I was by myself, which I keep bringing up. I really thought this was dead set, like Alabama had this. And I don't know what happened there at the end. The pick 6 just sealed the deal.
See, I thought what it was going to be is I thought Alabama was going to come back in the second half and play off strong. All they did was muster up 9 points in the second half because they were up 9-6 heading into halftime. It's just crazy that Georgia put up that many points in the second half and Alabama could only muster up 9.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Of course, this is not really the same Alabama team that, had Tua, that had Jalen Waddle, that had Devontae Smith. They don't really have that same team it once did. Yeah, it was enough to get them to a national championship game, but
yeah.
If you look at the talent, just not the same kind of talent they once really had. Not saying that they can't get there, it's just a lot of it's already in the NFL. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
Najee Harris. Najee Harris is in the NFL in Pittsburgh. You got Devontae Smith in Philadelphia. You have Jalen Waddle in Miami. Tua in Miami. Like, it just...
Let's not totally discredit them yet. They will get back there, and probably next year. So,
oh, yeah, probably.
I don't think we need to worry about Alabama or sound any alarms. They still own college football.
Right now, congrats, Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, congrats to them.
I'm pretty sure Jake Fromm's looking at this and like, damn, how come this gonna have happened when I was with them? Apparently we're just not good enough.
Pretty sure Jake Fromm's looking at this and wishing he was back in college at this point, because his NFL career is just total garbage right now.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, so that's it for the rundown, I guess. So let's go on to something very rare here on Tinkle Sports Talk. I don't think in our year of being on the air, I don't think we've ever discussed tennis.
Talked about tennis? No, I don't think so at all.
This story has kind of been all across, not just sporting news, but national news attention as well. Novak Djokovic, he was cleared to play in the Australian Open. Then he wasn't because he wasn't vaccinated. Then he was cleared again, only to get uncleared again. Because Novak Djokovic refuses to get the vaccine, he contracted COVID and then did a photo shoot with French media, knowingly having COVID when he did it. The Australian government has now decided likely to revoke his visa, and on top of it, Djokovic could be banned from entering Australia for the next 3 years. So, I don't want to comment on his vaccination status too much, but what I will say, I'm going to kind of just start this off, I guess. You knowingly had COVID, and you did a photo shoot. Now, I know many of you are out there, COVID's some bullshit disease. To some people, to others, it's a very serious issue. People lost family to this. You know, what I will say is you don't follow the rules, you get burned, I guess, is really the best thing I could come up with. You pay the price, and I'm not saying Djokovic should have been banned for not getting vaccinated. What I am, because it was his choice. You know, but to go and knowingly have it and do a photo shoot, it's just questionable things all along the road. You know, Australia's going to do what they have to do. That's where I'm going to leave it. They're going to do what they have to do, and if that means they got to ban him for 3 years, it's unfortunate because you lose one of the best tennis players, if not the best tennis player in the world, from one of the most prestigious events. But
I mean, he's one of the top names, but there's also Federer as well. Yeah, that's top tennis player out there.
That's just a shame, though, honestly. But you know, rules are rules. You know, you enter another country, you gotta follow their rules.
I would think that 3 years is probably better than anything else. If you think about it, just doing something like that could ban you from a country even longer.
What I will say, man, the last 2 shows we've just been getting really political, or touching on political topics. What I will say is to go into certain countries, you need to have vaccines. Obviously, this one's a totally touchy subject, so I'm just going to leave it at that. To enter certain countries, there are certain requirements. Right now in the U.S., you have to be vaccinated to go into Canada, which is why Kyrie Irving can't play in Canada. And I believe you have to test negative twice before crossing the border into Canada. So, again, there are rules, and I guess when you don't follow them, you get punished. And that's where we'll leave it, I guess, unless you have anything else to add to that.
No, that's about it.
Yeah. Again, a shame, but rules are rules. That's essentially, I think, our bottom line here. Again, we try not to get political, but stories like this, obviously this one was a big one. We had to bring it up. And we're trying to steer away from the politics end of it. But, of course, things happen. Anchor break time. When we come back, we'll have our Olympic news. We'll have Tinkle on this. And I have a little bit of an announcement as well. So that's all coming up when Tinkle Sports Talk resumes here on Tinkle Sports and Entertainment. All right, welcome back. Team USA Hockey, of course. If you missed it, a few weeks ago we announced that they will not have NHL players on the roster. Well, the roster came out, and it is full of NCAA players, 14 to be exact, on the roster, and a bunch of NHL free agents and minor leaguers. Of course, the NHL opted out due to COVID-19 surges. Jason, your thoughts here? Can they win the gold with all these college students?
Anything is possible at this point, but nah, probably not.
I'm not liking the looks of this, to say the least. So I'm going to lean toward no as well. Team USA's kind of struggled against their foreign opponents. Of course, Canada's kind of ruled hockey. The the Russian team has kind of ruled lately. But let's face it, do we really
when Canada created the sport, kind of think so.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say, Russia also rules it all, but you know how Russia go to Olympic. Okay, I can't do Russian accent.
Russia go to Olympic, and they crush the competition.
They crush because they don't. But hey.
Oh, come on.
Some of them do. Not all of them. There are some good people there. Okay. Man, a short show this week. But yeah, not too many stories to cover, so we're on to Tinkle on this, actually, right now. Kobe Dean, of course, national champion at the University of Georgia. He got one of the hats that should have been thrown out. He got a national championship hat for Alabama when they didn't win the championship. Whoever's the hat guy, you deserve to just get fired at the end of the day, okay? How do you mess that up? You look at the damn logo before you bring the damn hat out. It's not that hard, folks, okay? This is asinine right here. Interns do a better job at this. And for that, Tinkle on this, whoever the equipment guy is that brought all this out.
Yeah, no, let me tell you something here, hat guy. You know what? You take that big old box, you donate it, or you toss it into the fire or toss it out. You get that big old box of the right kind of hats. Maybe it says Georgia on it. Maybe it says whatever else. Give the players that box of hats, not the one where, oh yeah, you done messed up, son. I'm sure after the fact he probably got the right hat because coach would probably be like, hey man, you're not wearing the right one. Let's get him the actual right one.
Yeah,
that's the enemy team. We want him wearing that.
I'm shaking my head at this. That was just totally stupid. Man, I can't believe how short we've kept these shows the last few weeks. Of course, we will have one more NFL Saturday coming up. That'll be this Saturday at 9 a.m. It'll be the final one because, of course, after that, there are no more Saturday games until late next season at the earliest. So we will have some NFL discussions on here very soon. But real quickly, I would like to kind of just say, I guess, Since this is our 1 year anniversary, a little bit past it, it's been fun. It's not done yet. I don't want it to sound like that. The party's only beginning. Of course, we started out on SCN, for those who don't know. Then Zach Carmine, he's over at Lockerbie now. He came up with the idea, let's merge the networks. Let's all go under one roof instead of talking on two different networks and constantly promoting the other network. So we merged together. Of course, then, we brought our show over, and it's been fun ever since, honestly. I know Zach's no longer a part of what we do here at Tinkle, but he deserves a lot of credit for our success, kind of, in this merger.
Yeah.
So thank you to Zach Carmine, and of course, thank you to the viewers who decided that we're not total idiots, for that matter. And thanks to the audience for not giving up on us, I guess. It's been fun. It's still being real. And like I said, episode number 50 is next week. Next Sunday, to be exact. I'm telling you, I think we're both looking forward to this. I don't have any old clips to show. I don't want to look back at history. So we're just going to leave it as it is.
Yeah, I don't think I want to see how cringe I used to be.
But yeah, we've come a long way, though, in a year. Of course, this network was nothing a year ago. And, now it's something. I mean, 23 subscribers strong on YouTube. We've had over 200, I believe, 50 views or 250 listens across all audio platforms. We've got close to 100 likes on Facebook. I mean, we could do better. I'm not going to complain, though. I'm always grateful for what we've got. And now, of course, the Tinkle Group now has a gaming network involved in all this. So it's not just about our success in the year. It's about the whole network's success. And, of course, we got some great things, hopefully, on the horizon coming soon. We added their show, No Final Bell, to our programming. Out of Turn 4's around during racing season. So we got a lot of good stuff in store coming soon. Hopefully even more in the future. But we're glad that this show has done so well, or has done well, has lasted year. And at least that's my sentiment for all this a year.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm definitely happy that we've lasted this long and not totally gone on the haywire. We're gonna be here for the many years to come. Honestly,
forever.
Don't forget, check out the. Don't forget to check the other shows out. I mean, if you get annoyed of just hearing one show all the time, there are other ones out there. I will say this now. I do apologize that the one show is kind of all over the place. Life and schedules and stuff like that kind of get a little haywire here and there. We will get it under control. Hopefully to get it to you at a certain day at a certain time every single week.
Yeah.
You don't get to that like, oh, well, it's not here at that time. How come? Well, sorry. Sometimes you get to that time, and do I feel like doing it? Do I feel like not? Sometimes that runs through your mind. But we're going to try to consistently do it. And I want to really say it's going to start happening probably now. I mean, it also sucks because all happens at the same time. You rather watch that and having really crank it out. But there might be, I mean, there's some other things, aspects of things we want to add probably to that show wrestling wise. But all I can say is look forward to other things that we're gonna say. I mean, NFL's shortly going to be ending. So we're going to be trying to talk about other things sports-wise.
Yeah. We got March Madness coming up very soon again. So that'll be a big topic.
College basketball.
NBA
some NBA
finals,
talks, even though I really haven't been paying too much attention to it, not gonna lie.
We'll have NBA playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs coming up. We of course will have
soon baseball will be back.
Well, baseball's a question mark right now because of course baseball is currently in a lockout. But
that's true too. Fingers crossed. Maybe they hopefully have a season this year. If not, it'd surely suck.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a season not happen because of a lockout.
We've seen seasons shortened, at least in our lifespan. But I just want to quickly get back on the topic of this network. And of course, I know we've been trying to meet. We will do it soon. Privately, of course, not on air. But we'll talk about that after the show. But I thanked Zach Carmine, of course, and he very rightfully so deserves every bit of credit in the book for the graphics.
Yeah, he does.
For the graphics over the span of this year. He deserves the credit for getting this show on this network and for launching this network into what it is today. And the fact that we are still growing is, slow and steady wins the race. Again, I never want to sound ungrateful. And I am grateful for every subscriber that we've got, and I certainly hope we can keep growing. But also the big thanks, it goes to Marty, who is not here on this show today, and I don't even know if he's in the room with you, but big thanks.
He's probably upstairs sleeping.
Yeah, so a big thanks to him. Yeah, he's sleeping because we're working out we're recording on Friday. We're working out Saturday morning, so... because we're both going to be spending the whole day at a gym coaching basketball and running the scoreboard. So, full day ahead for the both of us for that. So big thanks to him as well for jumping on board for No Final Bell and helping us out where we've needed it. And,
I definitely thank him big time because... if it wasn't for him, there would be a lot of times where I would have no idea. I would know to an extent of what to say and what to bring up, but he brings a whole different aspect because he lives and breathes the whole industry of wrestling, so he knows a lot of what goes on in and out of it. So it's definitely helpful to have him, and we could bounce off ideas with each other.
And you guys do a good job with that, honestly.
Of course.
I haven't seen the show, but I know that's terrible of me. It's on our network. I haven't gotten around to it. It's so tough with my schedule. I'm always either sleeping or working. So it's, this is a rare time where I'm not doing either of those.
Right.
That's why.
Yes, I did want to also say thank you, Zach Carmine. Thank you for putting the trust into us to keep this show going even after.
And thanks to
even
Thacker
after the split.
Well. Thacker never had the pleasure of appearing on this show, and I hope certainly that we can extend that olive branch and say if these two want to come on the show, they can very well come on the show in the future.
We've only ever had, three. There was one case last week where it was one person, but we never had the opportunity to have four people at the same time.
That could be chaos or it could be good.
It would probably be chaos, but you know what? It would probably be good chaos.
Yeah. So, again, thanks to them. Thanks to you, the viewers. Thanks to all of our friends who have listened as well.
Yes.
We have a lot of personal friends that have listened and watched and, of course, followed us on the social media at Tinkle Sports. But with that, I don't know. I don't want to cut you off. So if we're kind of set with our 1 year thing.
All I can say is just just be ready for bigger and better things for the Tinkle Sports channel
and
going
Tinkle
forward.
Group
That's all I can say.
And Tinkle Group Gaming.
Don't forget that.
Yeah.
You know, I know there's a lot of people out there that like gaming, so...
Again, we got some meetings to do to figure all that out.
I will say this now. I don't know if... I haven't decided yet if I want to be involved with it. There's other things that are kind of plaguing that as of right now. It's not that I don't want to. It's just like the money aspect of it is just like I don't know if I can.
The timing really aspect of it too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
All right. But with that, this is actually another big announcement coming up. So tentatively, right now, we all know how things go. Schedules change. Weather, in our case, weather is a factor on Monday. But assuming everything goes according to plan, tune in on Monday or tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. I will be up bright and early with Zach Carmian doing Lockerbie morning show. Of course, Zach Carmian, if you don't know, he is off doing a local project now with his own network, Lockerbie Sports. He is doing his own shows over there. That's where him and Thacker are right now. Just search Lockerbie Sports Network and you'll find them pretty quick. I will be joining Zach tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. I hope there's plenty of coffee because I've recorded a lot. I have never recorded that early in the morning. So hopefully there's plenty of coffee. I don't know what we're going to talk about. I have not talked with him yet about that. But more than likely, I will be on the show Monday morning. It should be live. Tune in 6 a.m., 7 a.m. over on Lockerbie. Should be a lot of fun, honestly. So
yeah, it's going to be like old times, I guess, in that sense.
Somewhat like old times, of course. But yeah, so I just thought I'd throw that out there. Lockerbie, we do consider a partner. Normally, we don't advertise other networks and their programs, but we consider Lockerbie to be good friends of ours. And, of course, that is why we endorse them as such. But anyway, we've rambled on long enough, I think, with all this news. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all again for everything. And we will see you back here we'll see you back here Saturday for the final NFL edition of the season. And then we will see you here on Sunday for our next episode of Tinkle Sports Talk. Until then, goodbye, everyone.